there, you see what their values are. Like Chance was like, look, he gave all his appreciation to God, and he definitely showed you what his values are.
True.
So that's one of my favorite parts. It's just getting able to recognize the people that mean the most to you. You know, whether it be my mama, I want to thank my mama and my people and this and that, and just like the little people that sometimes go unseen can finally be recognized. So what I want to do. Before we do that first, because you're not only a thespian, Juliene, you also have a beauty book that you are working on.
A beauty book.
So if you can tell us a little bit about that, tell us the title and the subject and what made you want to do this project.
I don't know if I can share the title just yet, just because I haven't branded it. But I can tell you a little bit about what the book is. If you do, first off, want to follow me on Instagram, it's JULIE.
She done plugged herself 10 times, y'all. Y'all follow this girl.
Squeeze me. JULIE as in Edward, N as in Nancy, E as in Edward, Ashley, and that's on Instagram. My book is about beauty on a budget. It all started off because I was in a drugstore getting some of my regular beauty stuff that all women do. And this book is actually catered more towards women. However, if you are a father or a boyfriend who does like to buy things for the women in your life, I would recommend it because it does recommend lots of tips on saving money. It started off when I was in the drugstore. I was in the line, and my cart, I had all kinds of stuff. Sorry if you are squeamish, but I had feminine products, I had makeup stuff, I had all kinds of stuff, makeup wipes, makeup remover wipes, all things that women get. And then I look over at the man next to me, and he has a flippin' razor and some toothpaste. And I'm like, my card is like $100, his is like $12. You know, it was so not fair, and it really just like, it was like the final tipping point to like make me want to change first my spending habits and the way I go about achieving beauty standards and share that with other women. So that's kind of what the book is about. It's just ways to achieve beauty on a budget. And I will be releasing it soon, so you can expect it within the next few months. But if you do follow me on Instagram, I do give out free tips. A lot of stuff will be in the book. In the book, it'll have a lot more detailed stuff. But you can follow me on Instagram, and I always give out free advice. And then you'll also be able to see when, keep up to when I'll be releasing the book. So
awesome. A lot of you don't know that Juliene is an awesome makeup artist. Her face is always beat. She did my makeup for the Grammys. So, and y'all know I was beat too. So,
well, I just want to say before you move on, I just want to say that that's a huge accomplishment. I think that it's, I think that as we come into who we are and what we want to do, it's imperative that we don't wait for people to do things for us. That we don't wait to get that part or wait for somebody to extend an opportunity. Do it yourself. You have all the tools. You have all the things to get things done. Why not capitalize on that? So kudos to you and congratulations.
That just motivated me, Charles.
Did it minister to you?
It ministered it to my spirit.
That's good.
In a special way.
Come on, somebody.
Glory be to God. Okay, so we're going to play a fun game.
Come on, game.
It's going to be fun.
Marry, date, kill.
Okay.
Hey, that's a fun game.
It's on a similar note because we like to talk a lot about relationships here, but it's not just relationships. Well, Idris, okay. It's called Would You Ever? So we're going to ask you a series of questions, and you're just going to tell us, would you ever?
Would you?
So the first question is towards you, but we can chime in and.
We should have some music before the game, like would you
Next time.
ever? Hey, would you?
We'll get you in the studio, Charles.
Yo, because you know I got bars.
First question: would you ever? Dun, 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 dun.
Wait, is this just for Juliene or am I playing too?
I'm the guest, so it's just for me.
You hear every week. They hear your voice all day, every day.
You right.
Would you ever, Juliene Winborne, date a younger man?
Yes.
How younger?
I don't know. I mean,
what's your range?
I don't think I would date anything younger than 2 years. But I mean, it really just is about his persona and how he comes off. Because age is just a number.
Aaliyah said that.
It's really how he carries himself. So, I think once you're like in your kind of towards your mid 20s, nothing really. I mean, I just hit my mid 20s, but I don't think really age is too important.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
J-Lo just said the same thing. I was watching J-Lo in an interview with Ellen, and of course she's kind of been labeled as a cougar lately, even though she's like, I've only dated one young guy.
Act like 18-year-olds.
Exactly.
So I mean, it really depends, you know. So you could find a really mature guy who's like a couple years younger. So it really depends.
This is very
on
true.
how he acts.
Okay. As an actress, would you ever take on a role that kind of compromises your beliefs?
No.
So, to give a little background to that, I think it's important to talk about an artist who hasn't done that, like Yvonne.
Do you mean like nudity or?
Depends on what your beliefs are. What are your values? What are some of the things that you would and wouldn't do?
I mean, for me, when I'm taking on a role, I'm not necessarily representing what's right and what's wrong. I'm telling the story. Right? You know, so it's like.
No, that's real.
That's not, you know, it's kind of a hard question to answer because, you know, what my goals are might be what Vanessa's are or whoever this person is. Yeah. For me, it's more important to touch somebody with a truthful story than to go against real life goals because this isn't real life. What's on the screen? Right. It's more of a story.
Yeah.
But I do want to shout out Yvonne Orji, who plays
on Insecure.
What's her name? Molly. On
yeah.
Insecure, who is a Christian who's never had sex before, but she be getting
she's
it
in.
In real life. Oh, she's a virgin in real life.
She's like 31.
She's never had sex, but she be getting it in Insecure. Yeah. And that's exactly something where she said, they said, you know, well, are you okay with playing it? And she said, I am a character. Yeah. That's not me. She said, I still want to protect the integrity of who I am. So like she never does partial nudity scenes. That's why when she always has sex, she has on clothes in her sex scenes. But I think that's important to talk about that. You know, you're telling the story. You're not that person.
I agree with that 100%.
But you can't get caught up. Keith Ledger. Heath Ledger. Sorry. Is that his name who played... What's his name?
Yeah, Heath Ledger, who played the Joker.
Who played the Joker? Obviously, he was not. Well, he committed suicide because he got too caught up in the role. Yeah. So that's a con to it. You know, sometimes you can be immersed in a role and you think you're that person.
I think Heath Ledger is an amazing actor, and you know that role. He did a fabulous job. Like, he did. It was. Like beyond amazing. I can't even find the words to describe how well he did. But you know, I think it is the responsibility of an actor to be able to separate real life versus the acting life. Exactly. You know? So I mean, I would guess that there was a little bit more to what was something going on with him other than that role. But you know, I do think it's important for actors to be able to separate that. Yeah. Okay. But I do believe also in losing yourself in the world of the character. And like Angelina Jolie, there's been times where she's also said kind of things like she will her every day will become the character. Yeah. I think that's like a magical, like euphoric, wonderful thing for me. It's
because you have immersed.
Yeah, I think it's like for me as an actor, it's like just like mush. I melt when I hear stuff like that. I think it's amazing. But I also think you should also draw that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, like you said, it depends on what your values are. Because I think of that Jadakiss song where he's like, why Denzel had to be crooked before he took it. And something about Halle having to be naked.
Before she paid it or something.
Before she got hers, you know. And it's like sometimes you have to take those risks, I guess, as an actor. But at the same time, you have to, like, is this what I want to do in order to get the recognition or in order to open more doors for myself to, you know, let it all hang out. And that's funny to me that, you know, Yvonne, she was like, okay, I'll do the sex scene because I'm playing a role, but I'm not going to show my body because this is still me, you know?
And her body's a temple.
Amen.
So...
another funny thing I heard too about that show, like she asked the producers, like, are these guys wearing condoms? Like, these are things that you don't necessarily think about in the nature of this show. Exactly. But she wanted to make sure we're promoting a certain type of
and value. A few scenes and Juliene, have you seen Insecure yet? So we don't want to tell you too much.
Yeah, I haven't. And you also don't want to ruin it for your listeners.
Well,
they'll be okay.
Julene's the one that put me on Awkward Black Girl.
Yeah.
Right. So you was a fan of Issa before then.
Yeah, I think I've kind of been hesitant to watch it because, you know, it's like a whole new form of Issa. I fell in love with the original Issa.
But it's still the same.
It's good.
It's a transition for me to go and I want to support her, and I do support her. So and I don't have HBO. You know how our generation is.
I got the code.
Netflix and Hulu.
You know you always gotta get the link.
Come on, I got the keys. What you need?
Okay.
I got the code for your HBO, for real. It's my mama's account. Shout out my... But I got you.
We got one more would you ever. More would you ever. So if you mentioned some of the actors that you look up to, would you ever go up to the icon in your life, whomever that actor is, and you can mention who that is or actress? Would you go up? Well, I guess you're not going up.
It's too late for him.
You got to go over there to the graveyard.
Would you go up to that person and pretty much tell them everything that's on your heart about how they've made you become who you are today? Like, I know sometimes for me myself personally, I don't go up to celebrities just because I want to keep my image of that person, and I've had some that were rude or not what I thought in my head they was gonna be, and it messed it up for me. So what about you? Would you do that?
This might sound bad, but I've never been starstruck at all, and now I don't go up to them almost because I see myself as equal to them. And so it's like, although I'm not at that point in my career yet, it's just like, okay, they're doing very well. Like
but you're the same.
But we're the same. Like I'm never, like, ever since child, I've been someone who's like starstruck. So, but as far as like telling them, like, you really have
inspired me,
I don't feel like as a stranger that's the moment to say that. I feel like if we were equals and we were doing a role together, I could really have a hard time. Listen, like, I'm really honored to be acting with you. I've really been watching you from the beginning, and I just really appreciate. So I don't want to be the fangirl. And for me, my heart is not the fangirl. But I will say I did get really excited once when I saw oh my God,
Shonda Rhimes.
I
was about to bring it up. I said, let's not forget we was at the Grove. And you was... I was like, now wait a minute, because she went in on Shonda.
I did get fangirl there, and I was embarrassed. It was so funny. I'm actually thinking about writing this in one of my skits because I was so weird. Like, I had on sunglasses for one, and then I walked past her. I was like, Shonda, what did I say?
I love you, Shonda.
I was like, no, I didn't say I love you. I was like, I love you. What did I say? It was something like, I love your work. I was like the most typical thing
that she hears all day.
Yeah, that she hears all day. I was like, oh my gosh, I love your writing. Like something so stereotypical. And I was like walking the whole time. Like I didn't stop to say it. And I had my sunglasses on, so I looked really creepy. So I was walking with my sunglasses, just walking like, I really like your work, Shonda. She was like,
that is hilarious.
Thank you. And she ran out of the gap, trying to get away from me because I would look really
It's funny, I saw her power walking, and I'm reading her book now.
Because I talk.
I'm reading her book now, The Year of Yes, and she talks about how awkward she is, and she does not like the limelight. She does not. She just started doing interviews. She doesn't like being in the public at all, and decided for a year to say yes to everything, and it freaked her out. So she probably was just as freaked out as you were.
Yeah, she would be because
what I will say is I do think that's important. I do think it's also important also to network with people. You can be equal and still network with people. I've been to multiple events where that has happened.
We know.
I think that for me, when I met Angela Bassett, the first time.
That's because your favorite movie
is what. And let me explain,
y'all. Quote line by line.
I was an extra on the Whitney film that she directed. That was on Lifetime, which was a pretty good movie.
Terrible.
And it was... I was an extra, and she came out and she spoke to all the extras, and she was so gracious and she was so kind. Fast forward, I went to the Creed premiere, and she was there, and
Give it up for Michael B. Jordan.
I walked up to her and I said, I was an extra in your movie. Thank you for doing an amazing job with telling that part of Whitney's story, and I gotta let you know that I'm a huge fan of What's Love Got to Do With It. I do not care, and you can fight me on it. What's Love Got to Do With It is one of the best movies of all time. I do not care. What do you say? Like, I seen a movie 13,000 times probably.
No.
Like, my mama used to always be like, why are you watching this movie
Catherine Jackson
this many times?
I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you. No
she done played, I mean, even when you go to Waiting to Exhale, like all these different kind of things where she has, I mean, Juliene, I'm not going to say, well,
That's the only one I know. I don't even remember.
I was about to be like, I wasn't going to say Juliene don't like Angela, because Angela may listen. And
I love Angela.
She said she played the same role in everything.
No, I did not.
Oh, you said about Jennifer Lewis.
Yeah, Angela Bassett is an amazing
I'm sorry. I take that
Jennifer
back.
Jennifer Lewis from Blackish?
Yes.
Don't come for Jennifer
That's
Lewis.
what I said. I love
Miss, you are on my list.